and certainly made that part of New Mexico glisten long before making all of New Mexico shine. She was Artesia High School's homecoming queen. She was on the Spirit Squad at the University of New Mexico. She led and directed the LULAC National Educational Service Center here in Albuquerque. She became the director of the College Enrichment Program at the University of New Mexico, and she later went on to direct the first ever Title V program at the University of New Mexico. She now serves as the first ever Director of Student Academic Success at the University of New Mexico, and she serves as the Unidos Project Executive Director. Please help me in welcoming our keynote speaker for today, Dr. Jennifer Gomez-Chavez.
I'm going to move this down. So before I start, I want all the Hispanic community members of the Hispanic Committee to please stand. Anybody who's here with the Hispanic Committee, Rosa, these individuals actually encouraged me. They actually voted for me to speak today. And after wrestling for about a month, I finally accepted. But I want to tell them that they inspire me, they keep me going. Their work and commitment to celebrate Hispanic history and culture is so encouraging, not just from our past, but for our future. So mil gracias for your amazing work. I am forever grateful, so thank you so much. So I know we want to start the celebration, right? And frankly, I just want to share a few thoughts. And my thoughts are Hispanics, a legacy of history, a present of action, and a future of success. This actually marks my 8th year with the Hispanic Heritage Committee, and I plan to stay involved for years to come. And people ask me every year, why are you so committed to this work? As you have heard, I serve as the Director of Student Academic Success for the university. And let us be reminded that UNM is one of many Hispanic serving institutions, but we're one of 2 Hispanic serving institutions ranked very high in the nation. And so I am proud to be a part of that institution. And there I'm even more proud to serve as the director of the Unidos Project. And why am I so proud of these roles? Well, growing up in Hagerman, New Mexico, who knows where Hagerman's at? Thank you. I always tell people it's between the aliens and the caverns. So if you know where Roswell is and you know where the caverns is, we're a very small farming community, but it was there that I began to learn, that I began to be given the gift of my culture. See, I am a first-generation Mexican American. And also, I would say I'm first generation. My dad was a business owner. All my family in Hagerman were business owners, ranchers, farmers, restaurant owners, big educators. But that is where I began to learn about my history. And growing up in southeastern New Mexico was great, but I had to overcome, as Luis Gomez, our student, he is not related. Maybe we probably are if we look back in our history. But, there are certain challenges that you come across that remind you to really understand what your history and your culture is about. So I didn't quite understand the importance of my culture and history until later, when I truly began to realize that it is, in fact, our history, our action, and our future success that is really about the foundation that was given to us from our past generations our families, our leaders in our community, many who are here who have paved the way, mentors such as Alex, who I can say is one of my greatest mentors, Dr. Josie de Leon, who just arrived, who I have to give credit. I probably would not have finished my doctorate if she wouldn't have pushed me. Other mentors, Ralph Arellanes, in pushing us to remember our history, Dr. Lawrence Roybal, and many, many others who every day inspire us and remind us how important this is. I want to also remind us that yes, the tortillas are good, and the tacos and the música are good, but in fact, our history, to think about the Hispanic leaders that serve in the United States in public service arenas, Hispanic individuals who serve in the military, who fought through many wars to keep our country protected, Hispanic scientists who helped discover a new drug, a therapy, or invent a product, Hispanic writers who write about our history to keep our stories alive, Hispanic artists who create our beautiful, authentic art, who are over here, our wonderful artists that we're displaying, who do the retablos, the straw inlays, our clay art, Hispanic civil rights leaders who lead our historical changes in our communities, such as Cesar Chavez, Dolores Huerta, Hispanic educators who taught in our school systems and encouraged our youth to keep them engaged through learning our histories and our traditions, and even dance. You might have heard I am a dancer. I'm a ballerina. I know that seems kind of weird for you, but I'm not. Pretty soon you will be able to view one of the companies that I'm a part of, Festival Albuquerque. But the dancing is important. All the individuals who have created, established our rich culture. And so what has that done? That has led us to the present. And as an educator, I cannot tell you how important culture and heritage helps instill confidence in our students. It helps grow and inspire them to see themselves in greater positions, in higher positions, to have greater goals. And so in our action, we know that Hispanos are growing. We know that heritage will continue and our culture will continue to play a deep and great role as we educate our future generations. And so by this, in my role now, and by earning my doctorate, I hope to continue taking action. Hispanic education is a priority in our state, in our city, and at the national level. We have great hopes for our youth to achieve an education that will lead to better jobs and in turn afford them the ability to give back to the community and society at large. And as you've heard, just earning my doctorate degree, I leaned heavily on my beautiful culture and heritage. All the rezos, the santos, the ángeles, the dichos, the role models truly inspired me to stay at course. And I can tell you it was 20 years ago that I received my master's, if you can imagine that. And fast forward to 20 years, I didn't think I would make it, but my culture, the struggles that our history has talked about and our families inspired me to keep at task. So I am incredibly honored to be a part of this committee, because I learn every day about the stories that go untold. I learn every day about how critical culture and heritage is, and I learn every day about a new person. Like we heard here, we have some wonderful role models. Rebecca now is inspiring us with being a new young leader within our community. The gentleman leading, he's the first Hispanic leading the Bank of the West, correct? Bank of America, Dios mío, that's not. Those are the role models. But I want to also thank my family. My brother is here. Joe, can you please stand? He's also from Hagerman. He actually works for La Vida Llena as one of their managers there. And it was my family who instilled in me the importance of language. So luckily I do speak Spanish. I am proud of who I am. And every day when I go to work, I remind myself that I can never lose my heritage and culture, because other students are coming to the university with their own heritage and culture, and they want us to accept them for who they are and respect who they are. So diversity, culture matters. It matters today, and it will matter in our future. And with that said, thank you. Let's start the celebration.